In his quest for true knowledge, Al-Ghazali acknowledges the superiority of the rational mind. There is no doubt that the mind is superior to the five senses because its scope is broader than that of the senses. Al-Ghazali does not trust knowledge obtained solely from the senses. Meanwhile, the rational mind is often likened to a light that illuminates a person's inner self and enlightens one's world, or guides them in understanding everything. Humans are bestowed with two eyes so that they can perceive reality or witness the essence of everything. The first is the outward or sensory eye, and the second is the inward eye or the eye of the heart, which is spiritual in nature.
Those two eyes are what humans use to see lights, whether physical or metaphysical. Al-Ghazali states that the five senses, in this case the sensory eye, have 7 weaknesses in relation to the rational mind.
According to Al-Ghazali, the rational mind surpasses the physical eye in its worthiness to be called light, as the physical eye has 7 imperfections. The eye fails to see itself, whereas the rational faculty not only perceives external things but also comprehends its own qualities. It acknowledges itself as knowledgeable and potent, perceiving its own awareness, the awareness of that awareness, and so forth endlessly. Imagine looking into a mirror. Our eyes can see our reflection, but they cannot see themselves directly without the help of mirror or device. That's like the eye unable to see itself. On the other hand, think of your mind, understanding that it is thinking about itself thinking, and then recognizing that it's aware of that thought, and continuing infinitely. This ability of the mind to reflect on its own thoughts is similar to understanding itself in a way that goes beyond what our eyes can perceive about themselves. This quality is beyond the capacity of bodily senses to conceive. The second imperfection is the eye's inability to see what is both far away and extremely close, unlike the rational mind which considers nearness and distance equally. Our eyes can't instantly see something far away and something very close simultaneously, without physically adjusting their focus. For Al-Ghazali, the rational mind swiftly encompasses great distances, reaching the highest heights of the sky in an instant, and then delving into the deepest corners of the earth with a mere glance. Our mind can swiftly jump from thinking about something as vast as the sky to contemplating something as small as a speck of dust without any delay.
It's like our thoughts have no limits of distance or scale compared to our eyes can see. It becomes evident that Al-Ghazali emphasizes the rational mind reflects a fragment of God's light.
The third imperfection of the eye is its inability to perceive what is hidden behind barriers or veils. For instance, when we wear sunglasses, they act as a barrier between our eyes and the outside world. We can't see everything clearly because something is hiding or veiling our vision. According to Al-Ghazali, the rational mind possesses the freedom to traverse around the throne of God, His footstool, the concealed realms of the heavens, and the highest dominion of God, unrestricted by veils. Our mind can wander freely, without any barriers. We can imagine things beyond what's in front of us, like picturing yourself in different places or situations. Similarly, it navigates effortlessly within its own distinct realm, the body. Essentially, no truths are veiled from our rational mind. Yet, when the rational mind does experience a form of veiling, it is due to certain attributes associated with itself, akin to how the eye is veiled from itself when its eyelids close. The fourth imperfection of the eye lies in its ability to perceive only the apparent and superficial aspects of objects, not their hidden or concealed dimensions. It comprehends the external structure and appearance of things but not their true essence. When we are reading a book, our eyes only see the cover, the pages, and the words written on them. On the contrary, our rational mind works to understand the story or the knowledge within that book. Our mind goes beyond just seeing the physical aspects. It comprehends the ideas, the emotions, and the messages conveyed by the words. For Al-Ghazali, the rational mind delves into the concealed and enigmatic dimensions of objects, understanding their true essence and inner nature. It explores their underlying causes, their profound origins, their ultimate purpose, and the wisdom behind their existence. It uncovers the material from which something is created, the method of its creation, the reasons behind its creation, and the various meanings embedded within its formation and composition.
Additionally, our rational mind discerns the level of existence to which an object belongs, its connection with its creator, and its relationship with his other creatures.
The fifth imperfection of the eye is its inability to perceive various things, as it cannot see what the rational mind comprehends or many of the sensations experienced. It cannot perceive sounds, smells, tastes, temperatures. Additionally, it doesn't grasp the inner emotions and attributes of the soul, such as happiness, sadness, pleasure, pain, desire, love, and knowledge, among others. Thus, the eye's scope is limited and confined. It remains within the realm of colors and shapes, which represent the most basic elements of existence. Essentially, bodies are the fundamental aspects of existence, and colors and shapes represent their fundamental characteristics. In contrast, the rational mind encompasses all existing things since it perceives them. Therefore, it freely comprehends and passes reliable judgments upon everything. It uncovers hidden meanings and perceives inward mysteries that are not apparent to the eye. So no one cannot rely on the eye. On the one hand, the eye serves as a source of light in relation to other objects, but on the other hand, it appears as darkness when compared to the capabilities of the rational mind. In essence, the eye operates as one of the informants for the rational mind. Its responsibility lies in observing the most fundamental aspects of the rational mind's repository, the realm of colors and shapes. Its duty is to convey information about this realm to the rational mind. Consequently, the rational mind evaluates these reports based on its keen observation and insightful judgment. In short, the five senses act as spies for the rational mind. In Al-Ghazali's opinion, there are soldiers subject to the rational mind within its own domain. The rational mind dominates them, having complete control over them, similar to how a king commands his subjects. Our mind employs spies like imagination, creativity, memory, and reflection, akin to secret agents gathering information from hidden realms. These spies bring reports to our mind, which then evaluates and makes decisions based on this collective information, just as a king makes decisions after hearing from various sources within their kingdom. In this way, our mind rules over and uses these spies to understand the world around us. The sixth imperfection is its inability to see what is boundless or infinite because the eye observes the characteristics of physical bodies, which are inherently limited. When our eyes are looking at a line drawn on a piece of paper, they see the line, which has a beginning and an end. They cannot perceive something that goes on forever. The rational mind comprehends objects of knowledge, and it's illogical for objects of knowledge to be finite. Admittedly, when the rational mind contemplates distinct knowledge, what is currently within its grasp might be finite. Nonetheless, it possesses the capacity to perceive what is infinite. For instance, the rational mind comprehends numbers, and numbers extend infinitely. It perceives the multiples of numbers like 2, 3, and beyond, and there seems to be no conceivable end to them. Additionally, it comprehends the various relationships among numbers, and the notion of an endpoint to these relationships is also inconceivable.
Furthermore, it comprehends its own awareness of something, the awareness of its awareness of that thing, and so on, an unending chain. Hence, in this particular instance, the potential of the rational mind appears infinite.
The seventh imperfection of the eye is its tendency to perceive large objects as smaller than they actually are. For instance, it views the sun as the size of a shield and the stars as small coins scattered on a blue surface. In contrast, the rational mind comprehends the immense scale of stars and the sun, recognizing them as many times larger than the earth. Moreover, while the eye sees stars as stationary, perceives shadows as unmoving, and observes a child as motionless during their growth, the rational mind understands that the child is continuously in motion, constantly growing and changing. The mind can comprehend that shadows are perpetually shifting, and it recognizes that stars traverse vast distances in each passing moment. The most exceptional quality of the rational mind lies in its ability or capacity to capture the quiddity or essence of something observed or understood. With this ability, the human mind can grasp the universal concept of an object observed through abstract senses, no longer tied to particular data. When we comprehend the essence of a human, we are no longer understanding that human or this human, but rather understanding humanity in a universal sense. For instance, when discussing a table, we are not understanding a triangular, square, pentagonal, or any other shaped table, but we are talking about the essence that encompasses all tables. Al-Ghazali acknowledges that the five senses, sight, hearing, smell, touch, and taste, are tools bestowed upon humans by God to interact with the external world. According to him, these senses are the primary means for humans to acquire knowledge about the physical world. Nevertheless, Al-Ghazali emphasizes that these senses have imperfections and limitations. He states that human senses cannot provide a comprehensive understanding of the true reality.
For him, the true reality transcends what can be achieved by the senses, residing in the metaphysical and spiritual dimensions that are beyond the reach of the senses.
Undeniably, human eyes can only see with the assistance of light. Human eyes will not be able to see in darkness or in conditions devoid of light. Thus, Al-Ghazali encourages humans to transcend reliance solely on the five senses. He emphasizes that to attain a deeper understanding of reality, humans cannot rely solely on the senses. In Al-Ghazali's view, while the five senses play a crucial role in human experience of the physical world, understanding higher realities and ultimate truths requires more than just the use of these senses.
He teaches that the ultimate truth can be discovered through revelation from God with the aid of the rational faculty.
Quote, eyesight commits many sorts of errors, while the rational faculty is free of them. You may say that there are the people of the mind committing errors in their consideration, but you should know that these people have imaginings, fancies, and beliefs, and that they suppose that the properties of these are the same as those of the rational mind. Hence, the errors are attributable to those things. As for the rational mind, once it detaches itself from the coverings of fancy and imagination, it is inconceivable that it can commit an error. On the contrary, it will see things as they are in themselves.
Yet, attaining detachment for the rational mind is highly challenging. Its detachment from the enticement of worldly matters, according to Al-Ghazali, reaches its pinnacle only after death. At that point, veils are removed, hidden truths are revealed, and individuals confront directly the consequences, whether good or bad, that they have set in motion.
Quote, he witnesses a book that leaves out nothing, small or great, save that it has taken account thereof. At that time it is said, now we have removed from you your cover. So today, your sight is piercing. This covering is the covering of imagination, fancy, and other things. At this time, those deluded by their fancies, their corrupt beliefs, and their unreal imaginations say, "Our Lord, we have seen and we have heard, so send us back that we may work righteousness. Truly, we are certain."
Thank you for watching. See you in another video.